Hey, coaches. As part of any great coaching session, the coach is there for the awareness. We're there for the learning, the growth and development in terms of the client's perspective of themselves and their situation. The ICF sees this as evoking awareness. And that competency, it's the coach facilitates client insight and learning by using tools and techniques such as powerful questioning, silence, metaphor, analogy, also statements, intuitions, observations, and so on, as we look at the deeper measures of success for this competency. As a whole, we can look at the competency of evoking awareness as an invitation to create awareness. And throughout the entire coaching process, the coach is asking questions, offering structure, sometimes offering statements, demonstrating partnership, all for the sake of inviting the client to go deeper, to better understand themselves and their situation. So let's take just a little bit of a moment to unpack the markers of success for creating or evoking awareness. And as we do this, I'm going to just stay with the theme of inviting. As part of this, this class materials page, you'll see the step-by-step actual PCC markers of success for this competency. But in my opinion, the theming of invitation is really valuable to better internalize and understand the idea of evoking awareness. So let's take a look at it from this perspective of invitation. The coach invites the client to unpack learning around their situation. The coach is not in charge of figuring out the situation. The coach is not there to get all the information. The coach is not inviting the client into an interrogation or interview. Instead, the coach is inviting the client to do their own unpacking of learning around their situation, unpacking the learning they have around their identity, who they are, their self. The coach shares observations around situation and identity, inviting the client to build upon those observations. The coach invites the client to consider how to apply or connect the awareness that is created. And here I just want to do a quick little preview or highlight of one of the more valuable concepts that we'll look at for all of coaching and all of coach training. And that is that we're not here to coach around the clock. Instead, we're here to coach around the shifts, the learning as the client realizes some things about themselves and their situation. That's when we get to have the most fun of pausing and reflecting on with the treasure that we found and bringing it up to the surface, considering how this treasure is related to what they wanted out of the session, their bigger goals, what they might do with that awareness, that learning. And we talk more about that with action planning and facilitating client growth, but it's valuable to just keep in mind that the purpose is to invite clients to learn, and when they learn something new about themselves, then we pause to really enjoy and apply that learning. Because the point is not just to have some learning, but to bring it somewhere and invite them to bring it somewhere as we move from evoking awareness into facilitating client growth. Now, a couple more things to look at. All client inputs offer invitations for learning and are customized by the client's needs. Very similar to sharing observations and around the situation and identity and allowing the client to build upon these observations. Anytime we offer something directly to the client, we want these observations to be customized to the client's needs, their agenda, their language, and always offer them in a way that invites learning around whatever we say. Not validation, not asking if I'm correct in my observation as the coach. No, we just simply make an observation and say, what do you make, client, of what I just said? We'll talk more about that anytime we bring up statements with partnership. And finally, the coach invites the client to take the center stage, to essentially take the most time during a session. Ideally, and I'll say this many times throughout coach training, as coaches, we offer 10, 20, maybe 25% of the talking time in a session. As we grow our skills, that's about where we should be, 10 to 25% of the time speaking. But the grand majority of the time, the client should be up on the stage. They should be doing the talking. They should have that sense of welcome to fully unpack their ideas. You can see that contrast when a client is coming to a session and they feel, you can see it in their eyes and the way they're responding, the shortness of their responses. They feel maybe interrogated more often. They feel as if they need to give the right answer so that you as the coach can solve the problem for them. Over time, we want to help clients better understand, see, and experience the value of being the one in charge, of evoking awareness or understanding the awareness that's coming up, and having this space where they get to share their learning as they're on stage with the support of their coach as an ever-present person behind the stage or in the audience, giving them applause and asking great questions throughout the entire experience. The coach is there to invite the client to perform and to demonstrate their greatness throughout the entire coaching process. That's who you get to be for the client when you truly focus on what they have to offer and invite them to share that throughout the entire session. Thank you for coaching. Thank you for being this type of individual who welcomes their clients